How is everyone this morning? Yes, it's a wonderful, wonderful morning. You know, this actually feels really good with like the rain outside. It's like, we're going to relax into this morning. We're not really going to relax. It's going to be a high energy Sunday as it always is. Welcome to Unity of Tucson. I'm Reverend Jonathan Zenz. Such a pleasure to have you here on this beautiful, 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 beautiful morning. We are a spiritual community here to celebrate love. We are here to celebrate love. That's what we're all about. And we have a great treat today with our featured singer of the day who's going to lead us off and uplift our spirits with this beautiful song. So please help me welcome Darwin.
Walked with no one and talked with no one, and I had nothing but shadows. Then one day you passed, and I brightened at last. Now I greet the day and complete the day with the sun in my heart. All my worries blew away when you taught me how to say. Grab your coat, put on your hat, leave your troubles by the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear that pitter-pat and the happy tune in your step? Life would be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade, but I'm not afraid, 'cause this rover has crossed over. If I never had a cent, I'd be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. Walk in the shade with those blues on parade, but I'm not afraid, 'cause this rover has crossed over. If I never, ever have a cent, I'll be rich as old Jeff Bezos. Cold is at my feet on the sunny side of the street. On the sunny, on the sunny, on the sunny, sunny, sunny side of the street. Yeah.
That's Darwin, everyone. What a great way to open the day. Thank you so much, Darwin. Isn't that great? I'll be rich as old Jeff Bezos, because nobody knows who Rockefeller is anymore, right? So good morning once again. Good morning, beautiful humans, beautiful humans. Welcome to another high energy Sunday at Unity of Tucson. I've been saying this every week, and it's just I feel like this is just the tone of what I want to offer each week for a little while, and it is this: that you may not believe everything you hear today. That's okay, but I guarantee you're going to hear something you believe. And it's up to us to really look at what is it that, I don't know why I'm holding onto this microphone. It is up to us to look at what are our beliefs, because our beliefs are creating our experience. That is the whole point and purpose of this teaching. Jesus said it is done unto you as you believe. So if you're wondering why your life is the way it is, look at your beliefs. And that's what today is all about, to start to look at our beliefs. we do have a vision and a mission statement here, and I want to start off by inviting us all to say together our vision statement. It is this: we envision a world awakened to its magnificence. We envision a world awakened to its magnificence. It is up to each and every one of us to open up our hearts to recognize the magnificence that exists in all that is. And, not everybody recognizes that. And so that is the goal. That is what we're looking to create in this world, to have the experience of in this world. The vision is how we see the world. And there's a path to getting there. There's a practical path to getting there, and we have encapsulated that, I believe, in our mission statement here at Unity of Tucson, and it is very simple. If you would share this with me. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. You are the most magnificent, you are the most high, you are the most eloquent expression of an infinite divine power there is, because that is all that exists. There is only God and nothing else, and that is who we are. That is our core identity. If you're joining us for the first time today, if you're online joining us for the first time today, I would love for you to let us know that you have joined us. Please go to unitytucson.com/connect and just fill out the information there so that we can reach out and say hello and know that you are present with us today, and grateful that you're here with us. Whether you're watching live or on the replay, a lot of people watch on the replay. We are live on Sunday mornings, but if you're watching on the replay, you can go to that same webpage and let us know that you've joined us. If you're in the room and you are joining us for the first time today, we have a gift for you. And so it is up to you. If you would like to identify yourself as someone who is here for the first time, would you please stand up so that we can love you up and give you a gift? Welcome. Grateful to have you here. Grateful to have you here. Thank you so much. And if you would remain standing, just remain standing for a moment, because there's something else that we have for you. And it is this community has done a little research. We've done some research into you. I just want you to know that. We knew that you were going to be here today, and so we did our research. Whether you knew you were going to be here today or not, we knew. And we found out something about you. And you know what it is? You ready, everyone? 1, 2, 3. You are magnificent. You are absolutely magnificent, and I'm grateful that you're sharing your magnificence with us here today. You can be seated. Well, and if we are offering to other people that we know their magnificence, well, they are a reflection of us. And so I think it's important that we accept and understand our own magnificence. So would you say this with me? I am magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. I'm so grateful to share this Sunday morning with your magnificence and your light shining, shining, shining. It is a high-energy Sunday morning, but I also like to have an experience of meditative contemplation. So we're going to take a few moments to settle into our heart space right here and right now. So let's just take this opportunity to relax. Just settling in and relaxing the physical body. I'm going to invite us all to see if there's any place where we might be holding on to any unnecessary physical tension. And just invite that tension to melt away. There's nothing we need to work at to release it. Oftentimes, the invitation is enough. Just allow in this moment a releasing. If you haven't already done so, and if you'd like to, please feel free to close your eyes or let them fall to a soft, unfocused gaze. The reason I invite us to do that is so that we can turn our attention to that inner life, the inner life of feeling, the inner life of thought, the inner life of belief. For from belief flows forth our thoughts and our feelings. And these are the things that are creating the circumstances and the experiences of our lives. So as we place our focus on that which is within, It is an opportunity to experience the good, to experience the love, and to experience the light. Continuing to allow a quiet mind, an easeful experience of this moment. Deepen into an awareness and a noticing of the breath. Just becoming aware that the breath is happening. There is nothing we need to do to make it happen. It is doing its perfect work to nourish the body and is reflective of the infinite circulation of spirit which nourishes our soul. To speak the words of this month's affirmation and invite us to spend a few moments in quiet contemplation. I'll say the affirmation through a few times, and then we'll just allow some quiet. The affirmation is this: the healing power of divine life within strengthens and revitalizes me. The healing power of divine life within strengthens and revitalizes me. The healing power of divine life within strengthens and revitalizes me. The healing power of divine life within strengthens and revitalizes me. Just take a breath, and in your time, open your eyes, welcoming yourself back to this experience, this room. You may notice, if you've been here before, something a little different. There's a reason for that. Usually I sing a song here. We do sort of a chant song, and we're not doing that today, and there's a purpose for that. So I'm going to invite Lynn Peterson to join me, if she would, on the stage as we engage in our weekly ritual of lighting the flames of faith. These candles represent faith traditions of the world, spiritual ideas, and theological concepts. And what we're doing here with this ceremony is, with each candle that we light, we are allowing ourselves to honor these faith traditions, allowing ourselves to root into the understanding that each and every one of them is born of a golden thread of love. And so we're going to celebrate all the traditions of the world in this manner. And so let us begin by lighting a candle for the Tao. The Tao honors the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. Am I going too fast?
No.
Okay. I thought I heard you whisper something.
I whispered something to myself.
Okay.
That's okay. That's what you do when you get older. You know, you start talking to yourself.
Oh, don't tell me that.
You already do it.
I already do it. All right, so that was Buddhism. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the divine will of love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light a candle for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony, and for any seekers who may be unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are keeping open for them in our hearts. And this final candle we light is the healing candle. It represents the healing of any circumstance which requires the uncovering of the divine at its core. For at the core of all experience is God. And so as we uncover that God essence at the core, we experience healing in the circumstantial world, in the world of form. And so this is your candle for whatever is in your mind and in your heart that requires the light. And the candle here on your left is our peace candle. We keep the peace candle consistently illuminated with this understanding that it is representative of the consistent illumination of peace in our hearts. And as we allow that peace in our hearts to inform our thoughts, our intentions, and our deeds, we create a more peaceful experience of life all over the world. And so let's honor this candle together by reading together the prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established and peace begins to reign in the world. Indeed it does. Thank you, Linda.
Hi.
Hello. I always have to do this. Notice the resemblance? This is my mother. Oh, yes.
For those who don't know that already, right?
I know. Well, there are people who don't know that.
This is true,
Yeah.
but almost everybody.
But I always have to say, you know.
That's just because you and I look alike.
Yes, we do look alike. So Lynn is here to talk to us about the homework that I gave last week. If you're new to our community, I give homework every week because, as I said earlier, part of this practice is to be practical, to put it into use in our lives. You know, it's lovely coming here on a Sunday and hopefully feeling inspired. I hope that I'm inspiring. And actually, there's no hope. I trust that I'm inspiring. I'm just going to leave it at that.
You have to have that, faith in yourself.
I do have that faith in myself.
Well, there
yes.
you go.
Yeah. So I give homework, and then I invite the keeper of the flames, whomever it is that week, to talk about their experience with doing the homework over the week. So the homework was this last week: pray daily. Pray daily. My whole talk last week was all about prayer. This whole month has kind of been all about prayer, and I'm really grateful for that. And I invited everyone to do this. If you have not tried daily prayer, to give it a try, see what happens. And if you do have a daily prayer practice, to check in to see if your particular practice is still effective for you. And if it's not, change it up. And if it is, maybe change it up. You know, the thing is, technique is anything that works. So the encouragement was to find what works for you in embodying a daily prayer practice. So tell me, how did that go for you this week?
I realize I pray more than once a day.
Mm-hmm.
I pray in quite a few different situations, and particularly in times of stress, because it's what calms me down and makes me centered, and it helps with my day.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of stress this week, so there's been a lot of prayer. And then I always remember the philosophy too: the love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are.
Yeah.
And I do even tell others about that, going, this is something, and they look at you going, really? I went, yeah, well, that's really profound. And then I can move on with my day. I just keep reminding them, and reminding myself that that's what I need. And I didn't even realize that I prayed as many times a day as I do until I started thinking about it.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, we're praying whether we recognize it or not.
Yeah.
Because every thought, every belief is creating a construct in our lives.
Yeah.
And our work is to engage we engage formalized prayer to address those thoughts and those beliefs so that we can shift them into an experience that we would like to have. You know, because we can have stressful lives.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Anyone else, is anyone here not have a stressful life in some manner? Like, or have you never experienced stress? I don't see any hands up. So.
I don't either, but I figure, being 66 years old and raising a 14-year-old, that's enough stress.
Yeah.
Okay, but then on top of that, we have, work, and, there's just a lot of things in your life, in everybody's life.
Yeah.
And you have to stop, and sometimes I meditate during the day. I'll just take just a couple minutes to go, okay, and it centers.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So.
Well,
see what we've done here?
Look what we've done here. I love it. Thank you
I can
so
tell you 2 years ago that wasn't happening.
No.
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 So, but I'm grateful to be a member of this congregation, even if I can't say the word.
I'm grateful that you're here. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sweetie.
Yeah. Thank you. Lynn Peterson. So the reason that we did not do a chant, I guess we'll call it a chant, what I refer to in our inner circles as the centering song, is because today is our membership blessing Sunday. Since the last time we did this back in June, we've had 13 new members join Unity of Tucson. There are guidelines for membership, and last week we sat down and we had a membership orientation class, and grateful that they were all present for that. And so today we get to honor them as the newest members of our community. But I want to start by asking this question: what is membership? Membership is a commitment. Now, I like to say membership is not a commitment to a building. It's not a commitment to a place. It's a commitment to yourself. It's a commitment to deepening in your understanding that this is the right place for you at this time. And it's okay if things change and shift. In fact, that's the nature of life. What did they say? The only constant is change. But right now, these 13 magnificent people have decided that this is the spiritual path for them and the place they want to be. So being a member here at Unity of Tucson invites you to do this. Uphold the teachings of Unity and its principles and exemplify them in daily life. To regularly attend the functions of this church, of this ministry. To make regular and identifiable contributions to the ministry through your wisdom, your work, and your wealth. Attend the annual membership meetings of the church and to participate as a voting member. So that's what it is to be a membership on paper. But again, looking at the commitment that is within each and every one of us, that's the thing that I invite everyone to do here today. More than that, membership is a commitment to a spiritual journey, because we're all on a journey. It is voluntary to be a member here. It is not compulsory. And entering into membership is a personal covenant, even more than it is a covenant to an organization. And so the members that we have joining us today, we are blessing through a ceremony where we are offering each member a name tag and a membership card, and we're going to also offer them one of these beautiful African marigolds. We offer them as we don't cut flowers and offer a cut flower. And the reason that I choose to do this is because having a potted plant is a recognition of the way we root ourselves into a path. And so I'm going to invite every single member who takes one of these today to take them home, put it in soil, and nurture it in the same way that you are choosing to nurture your soul. That's the recognition of this particular plant. The plant represents you in faith, your roots, and your blossom. So I'm going to invite, I just got a moment. I'm going to invite Laura and Lynn to help me. To our new members, as your name is called, if you would please come to the front, receive your name tag and your membership card, and a plant as well. And then I'm going to invite you all to line up just in front here. Once you've all been introduced, we have a special treat for you. And so I'm going to begin by inviting Cindy Stiles and Fran Smith. Christina Gilman. We're going to honor and bless Skylar Saint, who is not here with us today, but became a member this past week. Chris Mitchell. Meredith Ann Little. Also not with us today are Dee Emerson and Barry Emerson. I'm going to invite Sherry Hoffman. And I don't see her, but Dottie Middleton has also become a member this week. I'm going to invite Winnell Waters. Jeffrey Poulin. Am I saying that right? Yes. And Valerie Bridges. As these magnificent souls stand before you, what I would love for us to do is to share our love for them and with them, for that is what we have to give. And let's honor them by singing together, Face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. As we continue, there's a sign language that will go with this. I'm going to teach it very quickly. It's very simple. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. And it goes right with the lyrics like this. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. And so enjoy the community doing this. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. Now let's just sign it without singing. Time, singing. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Thank you. Welcome our new members. That gets me every time. You know, actually, for the year that we were virtual, I had people ask me, oh, can you please sing Face of God? And I said, no. I only ever want to do that when we're doing our New Member Sunday. I think it's a wonderful way to encourage and honor the people who have made their commitment to be here. I'm so grateful that you're here. Thank you. And I'm so grateful for this gentleman who has joined us here today to provide us with magnificent musical inspiration. You know, I've said this whole month has kind of been all about prayer, and this song is no different. So here with our featured song today, please welcome once again, Darwin. Oh, yes. There you go.
Someone needs a prayer today. Have you done your part? Someone's in despair this day. Have you prayed from the heart? So many are trying to find the way, and they need your light, you know, for our prayer of love. It lifts them high, it heals them, sustains them, and sets them free. Our prayer of love lifts them high, it heals them, sustains them, and sets them free. Now have you spoken the word today? Did you give your all in prayer? Someone needs to hear what you say. Did you answer the call to pray? So many are seeking the way to go, and they need your light, you know, for our prayer of love. It lifts them high, it heals them, sustains them, and sets them free. Our prayer of love, oh, it lifts them high, it heals them, sustains them, and sets them free. You are the place you need to start. Open your mind and use your heart. Don't waste time and don't delay, 'cause so many are in need of a prayer today. Someone's in need of a prayer today. Have you done your part? Someone's in despair to stay. Have you prayed from your heart? Listen to the Spirit. It's telling you. It's telling you to heed the holy call, for our prayer of love lifts us high. It heals us, sustains us, and sets us free. Sing with me. Our prayer of love lifts us high. It heals us, sustains us, and sets us free. Our prayer of love, it lifts us high. It heals us, sustains us, and sets us free.
Darwin, everyone. Thank you so much. A prayer of love lifts us high, it heals us, sustains us, and sets us free. I don't know that I ever truly felt what it meant to be free until I found that the only thing that was imprisoning me was my own thoughts, my own beliefs. And when I addressed those things and had a willingness to let go of what no longer worked, I changed my entire experience of life. That's the power, I believe, of this philosophy, a philosophy that has been around much longer than 150-ish years. You know, a lot of people say, oh, new thought, it's such a new thing. I'm like, no, it's really not. It's ancient wisdom. We're just putting a new packaging around it all the time. You know, all the time it's happening. There was a man. There once was a man. A man who challenged what was known and accepted. There once was a man who challenged what was known and accepted. He called for fundamental change in the way we understand God. He once offered this: God is not a noun that demands to be defined. God is a verb that invites us to live, to love, and to be. God is not a noun that demands to be defined. God is a verb that invites us to live, to love, and to be. Now, you may have thought when I said there was a man, right? You might think I'm talking about one of the way showers that we often speak of here, a man named Jesus. But this particular man that I'm quoting here today, I realize I don't have end quotes in that. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh well. The man who said this was Bishop John Shelby Spong. He was a luminary in a very interesting way in the Episcopalian Church because he bucked a trend. He challenged what was known and accepted. He was an Episcopal bishop, and at this point I speak of him in the past tense because he made his transition just 2 weeks ago on September 12th at the age of 90. You know, in bucking the trend, he was deemed a heretic because he was questioning what was traditional. Well, the thing about New Thought, the thing about this philosophy under which unity falls under the New Thought umbrella, the thing about us is that our whole point and purpose is to buck the traditional. I know I've mentioned it before, there is a rather substantial book that is the history of New Thought. It's about 1,000 pages. And the title of the book is Spirits in Rebellion. We are each and every one of us rebels. By being in this place, you are a rebel. Right? I love it. Because I have been nothing but rebellious most of my life, right, Dad? I have bucked the trend in so many ways. But let's look at this quote. God is not a noun that demands to be defined. God is a verb that invites us to live, to love, and to be. It is a powerful invitation. This quote is a powerful invitation to each of us to release what we think we know about God. Even sometimes in New Thought, when we say, the teaching of New Thought is that God is not something out there, it is that which is right here within each and every one of us. Well, how do we know that that's true? How do we know that's true? That's a question for consideration. I don't have an answer for that today. Because I think it's up to each and every one of us to go on that journey for ourselves to say, how is it that I have come into this place that resonates with my soul? And I believe that many of us are here and we continue to show up because it resonates with our soul. To be told all the time, remember who you are. Know that you are this infinite power and presence, that which is most high is residing within you and showing up as you. We must release what we think we know, to let go of what we take for granted, because you know what else happens? We start to take the principles of unity for granted without ever questioning them again. And there's a thing that happens when we do that. It changes our lives, perhaps not in the way that we expect it to. Our work is to be rebellious in our own right. For me, Bishop Spong represents the rebellious nature of that other great teacher. That other teacher who disagreed with the status quo and whose ultimate message was the same: live, love, be. We are all part of a rebellious theology. We buck the traditional by living within a paradigm that claims our divinity. Ooh, and that's scary for people. That's scary for people. You know, it took me a long time to get to the point where I was willing to step up. And even now, I just want to point out that as I'm about to say this, I still feel that little moment of going, should I say this? I don't know. But I'm going to do it. Because I think this is what we should all be claiming for ourselves. I think it is important that we all begin to claim for ourselves, I am God. Because God is me. Every aspect of my being is God. This is true of me, this is true of you. Because if God is infinite, there can be nothing other than God. And so we are part of that infinite wholeness. Now, what am I saying when I say I am God? I am saying I know who I am and I know who you are. I am not saying I am God, therefore I have dominion over you. No, what it does for me is it recognizes for me that we are each and every one of us at the same level. We are each and every one of us equal. To know who you are is the great equalizer, because when you accept it for yourself, you cannot deny it in anybody else. I have found that this divinity, and not in a hierarchical sense, to know my divinity, for you to know your divinity, it is not about being set up in a hierarchical sense, but creating that sense of equity. I have found value in this, because it allows me to move beyond conditioned thinking. Bishop Spong, oh, it's not there anymore. Bishop Spong understood this. Jesus understood this. The great mystics of the ages all have understood this, that this is where we have ultimately landed. We go on these great spiritual journeys, many of them beginning with, what is the meaning of life? Moving on to, what happens after I die? Moving into, maybe I need to focus on what's happening right now, right in this moment. To move beyond conditioned thinking requires that we first recognize that we are conditioned. We are, each and every one of us, conditioned into a way of thinking, a way of believing, a way of. We're living ultimately in old school expectations. These expectations have been embodied by us because of the things we were taught in school, the things we were taught by our parents, the things we were taught by society, the things we were taught by the media. We have accepted these things as the truth of our lives, oftentimes without question. But it is time that we question it all. Let go of those old school expectations, those constantly playing tapes in our, or CDs in our mind, or digital files that are happening in our mind. You know, when I started in this philosophy, you could still say CD, and people would be like, oh yeah, I get it. But we have these files that keep playing and keep presenting themselves over and over and over and over again, that keep sameness in our experience. The conditioning, these old school expectations, are the result of a lifetime of belief embodiment. Belief embodiment. That is what it is to be. Belief embodiment. Every experience we have is a condition of our thinking and our belief process. And every time we have an experience, we, in those moments, make a decision that either this is the reality I accept, or this is not the reality I accept. But oftentimes we're moving through life just accepting what is. Now, there's a spiritual practice to accept what is, right? And that's okay, as a spiritual practice, to open ourselves up even further to a deeper understanding of what can be by means of each and every one of us. Because what can be by means of each and every one of us is that which is happening right now. And either we're going to root it in old belief expectations or new belief expectations. It's up to each and every one of us to decide. We are in a constant state of becoming. I am grateful every single day to be part of a faith tradition that invites questioning. It invites questioning. It invites the opportunity to say, do I really believe this? Do I really believe this? Because there are a lot of faith traditions that if you went up and you said, let me talk to you about what you've said to a minister, right? Let me talk to you about what you've said, because I don't know that I necessarily believe that. If you don't believe it, you're going down there. Well, you'll never hear me say that, ever, unless I'm joking. I did just say it. Ah, you got me. But for me, the capacity to question is the difference between doctrine and dogma. We teach a doctrine within this philosophy. And I know I've said this before. We teach a doctrine within this philosophy, and I believe doctrine is meant to be questioned. That is the power of doctrine. When you get into dogma, and this is the reason we claim to not have dogma within Unity principles and teachings, there is no dogma because there is nothing that cannot be questioned. Dogma is meant to not be questioned. And so it's up to each and every one of us to find that journey within ourselves. The power of this, too, is understanding that it is absolutely okay to say no. People have a hard time saying no oftentimes, right? I've had a hard time saying no in my life. But it's okay to say no, to say, I question that. I don't know that I believe that. I want to chew that up and decide what it is I really, really believe. Now, I have offered lessons, and I want to be really clear. I have offered lessons on Sundays in the past. Actually, I haven't done it here at Unity. It was in previous churches that I have run and served as senior minister. But I have offered this as a lesson, to go about your life and say yes to everything. It scares people, right? I know who I am looking at right now, because I got some pushback on that. And that's not the homework this week. Just to be clear. But I have offered lessons to say, go out there, say yes to everything. But you know what? Sometimes saying no is the best yes you can say to yourself. Because that is taking care of yourself. It is knowing at the core who you are, what you believe, and how you choose to be. This journey, this exploration, the questioning, the looking at all the stuff, is for me the way that I think we can truly find God, but it's up to you to determine if that is true in your heart. To truly find that infinite power and presence, to put it to the test. What are we searching for? We come often to places like this because we are searching for something. Whether you're in the room or you're online, you may have found yourself here because you're searching for something. But you know what? That which we seek is the very thing that is causing us to seek. That's the important thing to understand. We can let go of thinking it's going to be a hard journey to find God, because you know how you find God? Look in the mirror. and then look all around you at everything. That's where God is. It is the expression and that which is behind the expression of all that is. What we find, at least what I have found, what we may find, is that God is wholeness. It's wholeness. Can we perceive more deeply the wholeness that inherently is this world, this expression? Can we settle our own minds and hearts into accepting that wholeness is the truth, irrespective of the circumstances that show up in our lives? All of it is wholeness. And when we align ourselves at the heart level with wholeness, and you get to decide what wholeness is for you and how it shows up for you. When we experience wholeness, that is where healing resides. This is where we meet God. God is inherently our greatness on demand. Our greatness on demand is part of who we are. God is who we are. My first teacher in New Thought, not the physical presence that was my actual teacher in a classroom, but the first person in the New Thought philosophy that I studied said this: we are not one in God. We are not one with God. A lot of people are like, what? Isn't that what you teach in New Thought? Those descriptions denote separation. If I am one in God, then God is something outside of me. It's like, the water, and I'm separate as a fish swimming in a sea of God. But that's not true. I am that water as well. I am not one with God, for then God is something that is walking alongside me. That particular person said this: no, I am not one in God. I am not one with God. I am one of God. We are one of God. There is no difference between God and me except the level of degree to which I express the inherent divine nature, and this is true for each and every one of us. So we must be willing to let go of the old school expectations and welcome change, for we are in a constant state of Godness, constantly in this magnificent sea of Godness. And we are that sea, we are the wave, we are the drop. You've heard all of those metaphors. It's the truth for me. And I invite you to see what is true for you. There is no difference between God and us. The only difference is what we adopt as true for us. Those perceptions of difference are the old tapes that we play. A lot of us are still playing those old tapes of saying, I believe God is out there in some way. The mystics of the ages have all come to this realization. This particular mystic, a 13th century German theologian, Meister Eckhart, said, between God and me, there is no between. Between God and me, there is no between. He was another heretic. Heretics. I think we're all heretics, and that's okay. But heretics are those who, it seems to me, are the ones who let go of those old school expectations. That's the power of our teaching. It is an invitation for each and every one of us to rethink what we have once thought. This is what all the mystics of the ages have said, including Jesus. Rethink what you have thought. Is that why many of us have found our way here? Because what we once believed is no longer serving us? We are the experience of God. Let's never forget that. We are the experience of God in its infinite unfoldment. This is how we transcend beyond those old school expectations. Our work is to constantly live in a mental resurrection every day and in every moment. Through this transcendence, we find ourselves transformed. So ask yourself, in what way today am I erasing those old school expectations and lifting my sights to understand more deeply that I am that which is? That's the question of the day. Peace and blessings to you. You are magnificent. The homework today is this. Pay extra attention this week to where old school expectations may be influencing you. And in that moment, when you recognize it, what will you decide to do about them? Make a decision. Ask, does this expectation still serve me? Some of them may. That's okay. Does this expectation still serve me? If it does serve, then make a decision about whether or not you will keep it. And if it doesn't serve you, make a decision about whether or not you will keep it. Awareness is the first step to finding wholeness. So that's the homework this week. Be abundantly clear on what your old school expectations are. And so with that, I invite you to take whatever it is that has resonated in your heart here today, perhaps just one kernel of an idea, and allow yourself to make it fully formed in your mental, conscious space of wholeness. God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am, God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am. It is right here and right now that I rest in this understanding that God is all there is. This greatness on demand, this infinite creative source, this idea, this magnificent principle, this consciousness, it is infinite. It is ever flowing. It is ever evolving. It is consistently letting itself be known by all that is. All creation is God. Everything, every aspect of it. For all creation is energy and form. And this is true of each and every one of us. We are this very power. We are this very presence. We are this goodness and this wholeness consistently unfolding, letting itself be known magnificently in this world, in this experience. It is with a grateful heart that I acknowledge this good and I allow the forward momentum of questioning everything to be at the forefront of my thoughts, my beliefs, and my actions. And I know that each and every one of us does this in our own unique way. And the purpose of this is to create the more expansive life for ourselves. For that is the power we have to create the good in our lives as our lives, showing up always perfectly through through the use of our thought, our belief, and our feeling. And so it is with a grateful heart that I simply let it be so as I relax, trust, and live in the flow of the all good. I let it be so, and so it is. Amen. God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am. That was beautiful, thank you. And thank you. Who's speaking today? I guess it's William. William is getting up. Please welcome William Summers, the vice president of our board, to the stage. I know you like to have a handheld microphone, so I'm going to give this to you and let you use that. What was that?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking this morning while I was sitting out there. You ever have times you just take things for granted?
All the time.
Well, me too. So I'm sitting out there and I'm thinking, we have this unbelievable music up here every Sunday, every single Sunday. And I don't know if you're like me, but we come in here and we're like, oh yeah, there's the music. But without the support of the people in this room and the people watching online, we don't have this music. And so then I'm thinking, well, what's the alternative? And I thought, well, I could get up here and, perform. The only trouble is the only instrument I really play is the whistle. And I can only play one note, and it's off key. So thanks to you, we don't have to listen to me. We can listen to this magnificent music. So your support is so important to all the great things that happen here. Now, you're asking, how can I support? Well, there's several ways that we have that you can support us. One is you can go to unityoftucson.com, our online site, and there'll be a button that you can click on and you can donate that way. Another way you can donate is by sending in a check, any way you like to send it, the mail, Federal Express, UPS, we don't care, we take them all. If you have a smartphone, you can text Unity Tucson to 73256. If you're in the room, we're not passing the basket quite yet because of COVID, but there's baskets on the back by the door there as you walk out, and you can drop it in there. You can also go over to the bookstore. They'll take a credit card or a debit card, and you can go over there after the service, and they'll be happy to assist you. So there's many, many different ways that you can give here. So once again, don't make me get up here with the whistle. Please support us. So with that, if you join me in our giving statement, I share this gift with love, conscious of the inner presence as the lavish source and substance of my supply. I am rooted in the assurance that this gift blesses Unity of Tucson, and I trust in its ever-present circulation, knowing its blessings return to me. And so it is.
Thank you so much, William, and so it is. Ah, yes, William Summers. A couple of things that are happening here, of course, at Unity of Tucson. We do continue to have Tai Chi with Monk on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. in Room A. Room A is, if you were to go out these doors and go to your right, it's all the way at the end of the building. So join Monk for that. Gentle Yoga with Lynn also continues Mondays at 9:30 a.m. That's in Harmony Hall, which is just on the other side of this wall. I do want to let you know, Sally Inman is showing her magnificent artwork in our gallery, and she has offered to to let all of the proceeds from her sales during her time here to be directed towards the roof fund so that we can fix our roof. Now, I don't know if you noticed this morning, it's still dripping. We have a drip that showed up right here this morning. So, we do need a new roof. We are working in the direction of raising $80,000 to replace the roof. So if you are willing to make a little bit of an extra donation, we are delighted to receive that. And we're looking to receive that $80,000 by November 23rd. And we have a magnificent contributor who is anonymously who is anonymously matching up to $20,000 to help us with the roof. And the reason why we're going through till November is because that is that particular contributor's 80th birthday. So we need to raise $80,000 by this person's 80th birthday, which is why we're calling it the 80 by 80 Roof Fund. Now it makes sense, right? A couple of other things. Meredith Little's My Program, it's a weight loss program, continues Thursdays at 8. You can join her for that, also in room A. Christina Gilman's Express Your Magnificence Workshop continues Thursdays at 10 a.m. You can still join that as well. Molly is taking reservations for Gaslight Theater. We're having an outing to the Gaslight Theater on December 18th at 12 noon. It's a Saturday to see their holiday show. Their holiday show is called Elfed. It is Elf''D, Elfed. We have a block of tickets for that day. We have 60 tickets to offer, and you can sign up with Molly. She'll be in the lobby. Molly, do you want to raise your hand? She's in the back there. She'll be happy to take your reservation. We will start collecting the money for the reservations that we're taking next week. You can also, if you're online and you'd like to email Molly to secure your spot, you can email her at mollyhnelson@gmail.com. We have a reception for Sally Inman, our artist, in the gallery on October 22nd. It's going to start at 4:30 p.m. So I invite you all to join for a celebration, a little party for Sally. There are going to be some other artists here. I'm super excited about that. We're going to have postcards that you can take with you as a reminder next week. We are also going to have a benefit concert to support the Roof Fund on October 30th. It's going to start at 6:30 p.m. Darwin is going to be one of the entertainers. I'm going to be one of the entertainers, and we are working on our lineup of entertainers right now. But you will truly enjoy it, I am sure. So please put that on your calendars and plan to join us for that. I've already talked about 80 by 80. The other thing is we're accepting items for our indoor community yard sale. The yard sale itself will be held on November 19th and 20th. It's going to be in Harmony Hall. All proceeds from the yard sale go to the Roof Fund. If you have something that you would like to donate to the church for us to sell at the yard sale, we are collecting donations throughout the week during our regular office hours, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and Saturdays. We are also taking collection of items after service on Sundays. So, if you know you're going to be here next week, you don't have to make a special trip during the week. We will be happy to help you out with that. Yes. What else is happening? Thank you. I want to say thank you to everybody who's made today the magnificent success that it is. I want to say thank you to Laura for helping out with our membership blessing today. I want to say thank you to Lynn for your magnificent contribution in reflecting on what it is the homework did for you this week. I would like to say thank you to William for providing your magnificence and shining your light in support of our service today. I want to say thank you to our entire technical team back there, Wally and Don and Greg. So grateful for your support, grateful that you allow us to be seen and heard in such a magnificent way. Let's say thank you to this magnificent group of musicians. Linda, we have Rylan today on drums, filling in, and I want to say thank you to Raphael as well. He has stepped out of the room, but let's give a great big thank you to Darwin as our musical guest today. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for making your presence known here, not just here at Unity of Tucson, but in this thing called life. You are magnificent, and I do not ever take for granted what you mean to me in my life. So thank you. Whether you're online or in the room, you are magnificent. Thank you. Let's share together as we complete our time here. Let's share together the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me. I am that light. The love of God enfolds me. I am that love. The power of God protects me. I am that power. The presence of God watches over me. I am that presence. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever God is, I am. And so it is. Amen. Feel free to stand up and dance if you like, as we end the day with this great song by Karen Mitchell. The word has been spoken, the songs have been sung, our hearts have been opened, together as one. Center of creation, we are divine congregation, we are no separation, we are, here we stand, the power of one hand in hand, we shine like the sun, here we stand, together as one family, here we stand. The truth has been spoken, the message received, our hearts have been opened to what we believe. Center of creation, we are divine revelation, we are no separation, we are, here we stand, the power of one hand in hand, we shine like the sun, here we stand, together as one family, here we stand, here we stand, here we stand, here we stand. Make it a magnificent week, everyone.